tell me and tell our audience as well, of course, about how do you find your ideal buyers? I mean, are you doing any kind of marketing? What are you doing to grow your business?
Yes. So let me make a couple distinctions.
Uh-huh.
So I make a distinction between marketing, business development, and sales.
Okay.
And I do that with my clients. I help them understand that there is a distinction in my mind. Marketing in my mind is about raising visibility, about it could be about attracting leads under the right circumstances, but not always. So posting on LinkedIn, for example, probably won't generate leads. Some unusual cases it can, but that hasn't been my experience and is definitely not the experience of my clients.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking engagements, podcast interviews,
Mm-hmm.
that does bring in leads.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of my favorite strategies is speaking engagements that are live speaking engagements. I did one 2 days ago that was fabulous, where it's a group of people and it's on Zoom. So I am doing a workshop, which can be very interactive, and then follow up with the participants. But there's also podcast interviews and other speaking engagements that I can engage in, and that is a great marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Business development, in my view, is about building relationships.
Mm.
Every one of my clients builds their company based on relationships, referrals, introductions, and trusted colleagues who introduce them to others. That is also a very good strategy for me.
Mm.
The problem we run into is when we only have an inbound effort. So marketing is outbound, obviously, right? Because we're raising visibility. Mm-hmm. Business development, a lot of us wait for the phone to ring. So if you're going to be very proactive in business development, it means joining particular groups, reaching out to particular people, having an outbound effort, which is also what I do and what I teach. And then separate from that is the sales. And sales is very different psychologically. You can have a business development meeting where you get to know someone and nothing could come of it, right? And that happens to us all the time.
Yes.
It was nice to meet you. It was great. We socialized. We have a lot in common. That's wonderful. But we may not click. And they may not realize that they want or need our services. Mm-hmm. Or maybe they're not ready.
Wow.
So because of that, that sales mindset is very different because you're going somewhere. And not only are you going somewhere, but so is your buyer. And we often think it's going to happen naturally, and it doesn't work that way. That's why there are a million different sales courses out there. Because it doesn't work that way. So you need to have an intentional method, an intentional process, and not panic because you have a new prospect and you need to figure out how to convince them to buy from you. What I teach is you're not convincing anyone of anything. That's not what sales is about. It is about understanding the value you're bringing, communicating that effectively, and taking your buyer on this journey so they're ready to buy.